COVID struck, President Trump took action, cut off travel from China, the source of the virus. Joe Biden criticized, politicized, attacked President Trump's leadership. And what does Biden now propose while the pandemic still smolders around the globe? Increasing refugees by 700% from the most unstable, vulnerable, dangerous parts of the world. America can't afford weak Joe Biden. Times like these call for real leadership.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Good evening, everybody. Ronnie Lucero, the conservative Latino with the Lexit movement in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We got my man, my co-host, Angel Rivera, the Puerto Rican conservative in New York. Angel, what's up, brother? How you doing today?
I'm good, my man. What's going on? Excited, Ronnie. Episode 3, touching down today. I'm excited with this is the best thing that's going on with us right now, man. How you feeling? You good?
Well, I'm doing good.
Not everything is good, though.
Not everything's good yet. That's right. We're going to touch on something real quickly as we get this show started. As you guys know, this is episode 3 of The Right Latinos, and I want to let you guys know that Facebook has removed episode 1. They said for violent content. And as you guys know, we're a talk show. We don't do anything violent. We don't talk about violence. We don't encourage violence. We actually condemn it, and Facebook removed our first episode. And now our second episode has been restricted. We are no longer allowed to boost that episode. Angel, man, let's talk a little bit about the censorship before we get started. What's your take and how do you feel about what's going on with Facebook trying to slow our movement down?
Well, I mean, they're slowing down the president of the United States. How much more are they going to do to us? So it's an attack on the entire conservative movement because they feel, this tech tyranny is nothing but a Democrat stronghold trying to bring in this socialist agenda into this country. So we got to keep fighting, keep pushing, keep talking, never give up, because that's what they want. They want us to give up. But we don't do that. We Latinos, we keep fighting.
That's absolutely right. And here's the thing, guys. We're going to ask all of our friends and followers, make sure the first thing you do is push the share button. Click share it with your friends, share it with your family. Let us get the word out there. Help us get the word out, because without you guys, we cannot do this. So we're going to get the show started now, guys. We're going to talk about some very important topics that went on this last week. And the first one, which is probably the one that's gained the most news, is the passing this week of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Angel, look at all the chaos and fighting within the establishment and the political parties going on with the replacement of the Supreme Court Justice. What do you think is going to happen?
First, I wanted to give a rest in peace to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We may not agree politically with her positions, but she did serve this country. And for that, we want to just honor her and then respect her family and friends. But now moving on to the political side, which you asked what's going on with the madness is crazy, Ronnie. The madness, it's berserk. I've never seen such a liberal meltdown. We did see it in 2016. We did see it in 2016. And as it was, starting to subside, this happened, and it was a freak out like I've never seen. And I enjoyed every minute of it.
It's actually been a pretty good show. Watching what is happening with the left, they are literally exploding right now. They are threatening to have riots and protests, burning buildings down, and to block the Supreme Court's or the buildings that are going to have the votes within the Senate for the Supreme Court vote. It's very interesting when you talk about how people are wanting to come together, but you have one party, which is the Democrat Party, which is trying to cause chaos, trying to divide us and cause more of a ruckus. To me, that's an un-American way and an un-American approach. I think parties can agree to disagree, and they can negotiate, they can have discussions. But when you have people from one party that is literally stepping out and saying, block the Senate from voting. That's not the way to do it. That's not American. And I can ask you this question here. Can somebody tell me where in the Constitution it says that the president has to wait until after the election to replace the Supreme Court justice? Angel, do you know anything about this, or where are they getting this from?
Well, as always, they don't read the Constitution. They probably have their own communist constitution that they read that's under their pillows that they're hiding, because they just make stuff up on the fly all the damn time, Ronnie. All the time they're just making stuff up like, oh, we can't do this. Shut up, Democrats. We're tired. Like I'm sick and tired, Ronnie. I'm tired of their little games, Like it's frustrating, but you know how they are. They don't stop. They come out. They keep on. Listen, really quick, you notice that the side note, the news of the coronavirus suddenly disappeared.
Gone.
Nowhere. What happened? I just had to throw that out there. It's just poof, gone. But anyway, don't mind me.
Yeah, but you know what, though? You're absolutely right. The coronavirus is a big story until something else takes fold. And then the Democrats have something else that they can actually turn attention to and cause a distraction of what's happening in the world. And it's when you pay attention to what they are doing, they repeat the same talking points. They're all saying the exact same thing. It's like they get into the secret chamber and they discuss what are the words that we're going to use. And they're going to go out there and feed it to the mainstream media. The mainstream media feeds it to us. And then social media allows it to push. Yet they silence everybody else that opposes what the Democrat Party is trying to do. It's very, very interesting when you have Democrats that are trying to say, or have been trying to say, we need a president that is a uniter, not a divider. But for the entire 3.5 to 4 years that this president has been in office, all they've done is divide the people. They're trying to divide conservatives. They're trying to divide the liberals and cause more chaos in the streets in order to politically harm this president. And I just want to know one thing, Angel. Who is going to be the next Supreme Court justice?
It looks like it's down to maybe two people. Amy I'm losing her name.
Amy Coney Barrett.
Amy Coney Barrett. And I forgot it was two women. Because
LaGoya, right? LaGoya.
Right. Trump said it in his live speech the other day. He goes, it's going to be a woman. So I wonder how the left is going to respond to this. Having a woman, a conservative woman, they're going to bash her regardless. They want diversity. They want minorities, but they don't want them from the right. They only want them from the left. For some reason, women on the right don't count. Blacks on the right don't count. Hispanics on the right don't count. I don't know how that works, but it's going to be either those two women.
If it doesn't work for them politically, they're going to do whatever they can to attack who is opposed to their movement or their ideological, and I'm going to call it a fantasy, because at the end of the day, the Democrats think that the American people want what their agenda is, and it is a falsehood. The American people have spoken. They elected President Trump because they want him to be able to choose our judges. He still has almost 2 months left to be the president. And here's the thing. If there is a fight in the Supreme Court because the election is a mess, because the Democrats are forcing mail-in ballots and they want to contest the election, you cannot have a Supreme Court take on a case with just 8 justices. You've got to have a minimum of 9, because either way, if it turns into a 50-50 split, you got nowhere to go with this. So, you know what, Angel? We're going to come right back with some more information on the Supreme Court justice.
Gotcha.
For me, the most important issue is jobs. We need to be able to pay our bills. I trust Donald Trump on jobs way more than I do Joe Biden. There's no doubt that Donald Trump has built the strongest economy we've ever seen, and I know that he will do it again. Joe Biden doesn't have the energy, and his ideas like raising taxes, it's gonna hurt us. I'm sticking with Donald Trump.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Guys, welcome back. So we were just rolling about our Ruth Bader Ginsburg, what's going on with that. Another topic, this is a big topic as well. It's hard to cover it in one segment. So the fighting is going on. But one of the things we're noticing is that we have some of these rhinos, Ronnie, that are saying that they are not going to vote for the new Supreme Court until after the election. What do you think about this madness?
So for those that don't know what Rhino is, Rhino stands for Republican in name only.
Right.
You've got Mitt Romney. You've got Senator Lisa Murkowski. You have Susan Collins, who have all been involved in politics for decades, talking about they will not vote until after the election. Okay. Where in the Constitution does it tell us that we have to wait for the election? Nowhere. What has to be done now is we have to have a vote. We have to replace the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court, because once this election goes through, we have to be able to have a court in place in case there is a contested election. Now, here's something else that's really intriguing is that the Democrats, Angel, have talked about if they regain power, they're talking about expanding the Supreme Court when they regain power. Yep. So instead of having 9 Supreme Court justices, they want to push it to 11 when they've got a Democrat president. So that way he can fill those two areas or those 2 spaces. So that way they can kind of balance the playing field. And that's not how it works. Now obviously the Senate, House of Representatives, the Congress, they get to make the laws. So it is possible they can make those changes, but why on God's green earth would we, the American people, allow the Democrats to make those changes to fit their political agenda? What do you think about that, Angel?
It's a scary thought, because that's part of this destroying the foundation of this country. That is one of the avenues they will take. If, God forbid, if they ever take power, that is one of the avenues they're going to take in order to expand their socialist agenda. And once you pack that court with liberal judges, say goodbye to anything conservative. It's over. We would not, gun rights over, everything, your freedom of speech over. Only their speech would work. Everything, right to life, over. Everything will be over if you let them pack these courts. So you got to make sure that you vote for President Trump and you vote Republican down the line, and not just in these major elections, but in your local elections, because that's where it counts as well. So you got to make sure you keep voting, guys, because this is urgent. It's not just packing the courts, because it'll change the trajectory of this country, and we won't have in America.
Absolutely. And the Democrats are doing anything that they can in their power to find a way to hold on to the foothold of the power that they have now. And Angel, I think you hit it right on the head. It's very important. And guys, this is for everybody listening. And I want you guys to really take this in. I want you to talk to your friends and your family about this. If the Republicans lose the Senate and Democrats control the House, but President Trump wins, they will impeach the president. We have got to vote red down the ticket. We have got to regain and retake the House of Representatives while retaining the Senate. Okay. This is probably the biggest election in our lifetime. And I am worried for my kids' future. I'm worried about your kids' future. You should do the same. You have to get somebody registered to vote. There were 63 million people that voted for President Trump in the 2016 election. If each of us just got one additional person registered to vote for President Trump, there's no way that Joe Biden is going to win. There's no way that they can cheat with their mail-in ballots in the election. Angel, what can we do to get more people involved? What can we do to get people to register? And how can we get more people to vote?
Well, right now, what we're doing in Lexit, we have Lexit Strike Force. We're putting, like I said earlier, we're putting meat on the bone. We're getting callers. We have people that we're gonna go call voters and make sure they go out and vote for President Trump. So we're making calls, that's for sure. So if you guys want to make sure none of this madness happens, sign up with Lexit Strike Force, and we'll make sure we point you in the right direction to make these calls and make sure that we get these conservatives out in November.
Yeah, absolutely. We also talked a little bit. We did a live, actually, Duke and yourself did a live stream on the Polynesians for Trump group page this afternoon. We had a pretty good turnout. And we also had quite a bit of people that have signed up for Lexit Strike Force. Now, I'm just going to touch base on this before we roll on to the new subject, guys. For those of you that don't know what Lexit Strike Force is, it is a grassroots effort by the Lexit organization and our fellow conservatives. All we need you to do, guys, is make a few phone calls a day, a couple of phone calls a week, whatever it is, and reach out to the Latino voters. And let's get them registered. Let's get them to support the president. And it's a very easy process to do, but we need as many people involved as we can. It's a very important movement, and Lexit Strike Force is already making a difference. We have already built a large base of Latino voters. We will supply the information. We supply the application in order for you to make those calls. We just need you to go out there and reach out. So if you can, go to lexitmovement.org, and you'll see Lexit Strike Force at the top of the website. You click on that link and fill out the form. We will vet everybody that applies to be a member, because we want to make sure that you are conservative and that you are going to do what you can to help reelect this president. Angel, how was the show on Polynesians for Trump today?
Oh, it was great. They're a great group, man. We spoke out. They showed us so much love. So it's great. It's great to see everyone uniting together and for a common goal, to get this president elected. So you see that passion they had, we have to bring it across the country, so I'm glad we spoke to them. That was a great thing. They're great people. So I was just thinking, as we were talking, I was thinking about, their passion. And then just to kind of tie back to the passion on the left, did you see after RGB passed away, people went down to the Supreme Court. They flooded the Supreme Court chanting, "Honor her wish." By the way, I guess the coronavirus wasn't affecting there. I mean, they were all huddled together. They were 6 centimeters apart. I don't know how that works. They were all huddled up, but I guess it disappeared there. So they're chanting, "Honor her wish." And I'm thinking, honor her wish? No. Let's honor the wishes of the 60 million Americans that voted for Donald Trump. To honor those people that want to make sure that we have conservatives on the court. So I'm sorry, little snowflakes. We're not going to honor her wish. We're going to honor the wishes of the 60 million Americans that voted for President Trump.
Absolutely. That's a good question. Where in the Constitution does it say that we should honor dying wishes? I don't think it says anywhere in the Constitution,
And the Democrat one.
The Democrat one it is, but unfortunately, we are a republic. We are the conservative movement, and we have the power, and we are going to vote for a new Supreme Court justice, So, and speaking of, Angel, let's talk a little bit about how crazy the left-wing voters are right now. Have you seen the video of that girl that was screaming into her phone? Guys, take a look at this video real quick.
Holy fucking shit, you guys! I'm driving in a car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Fuck! Could this year get any fucking worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021! Ah!
Wow, Angel. Wow. You know what? What's that one meme that we all seen in 2016 where that guy is, or I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but has the glasses and the construction vest screaming, "No!" Dude, this is the new face of 2020, man. Talk to me. What do you think about this?
I actually did a reaction video to it because I think it was hilarious. And I love it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a jerk, but I am a jerk. And when I see liberals freak out like that, I love it. And guys, like I said in my video, if you love this country, you're going to want to vote, not just because you live with Donald Trump, because just imagine that times a million. Oh, it's going to be a double joy for me. President Trump's elected, and then you have like a river full of liberal tears flowing down, screaming. Oh, that'll be a great November. And then packing the Supreme Court. Oh my God.
It's like a flood of tears.
It's gonna be beautiful. I'm crying thinking about the beauty.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. And when the election's over, I've got a feeling that's not going to be the only person screaming in their phone that we're going to see. You know, you take a look at the way the conservatives act and the way the conservative movement is. We're calm, we're collective, but we are motivated. Conservatives are motivated. We are pumped up for this president. When you take a look at the videos or if his rallies for President Trump, there is thousands and thousands of people. You know, he had a rally in Nevada that literally had a line that was 2 miles long. Take a look at this real quick, guys.
There you go. Never ends.
That's a beautiful thing, Ronnie. That is America. That is who's going to come out in November. Okay? So we need to be careful. We need to be careful because remember, we have this, but at the same time, the Democrats are not going to stop. We got to make sure that these people come out and the rest of us come out because, as Nancy Pelosi said, if Trump picks a new nominee, she's going to try to impeach him again. That's all the Democrats can do, Ronnie. Impede and impeach. What have they done? So you got to make sure you go out and vote because they're not going to stop. How dare you talk about impeachment?
You know, and speaking of impeachment, they actually started the impeachment process when the president was starting his task force for coronavirus. So this just kind of shows you that the Democrats are willing to do anything that they can, anything to regain power, anything to stop this president. They're not working for us, the American people, guys. And I need you to listen to that. We need you to tell your friends, your family, let them know they're not working for the American people. They're working for their own self-interests. Mm-hmm. They're working for their own pockets. They're working for the establishment. And the president's working for the American people. He's done everything he can. He just signed the largest grant in history for Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico has been destroyed by Democrat policies. The Democrats have shipped their manufacturing overseas. The Democrats have pretty much eliminated Puerto Rico's production of medicinal drugs. Guess who's bringing that back? Guess who's fixing the Puerto Rican economy? It's President Trump. President Trump, that's who's doing it. Angel, what do you think about that?
Excited. I am excited because I know how bad my island is. It's been destroyed, you know, especially economically, destroyed under these Democrat rules. And now Trump, even before this, he started bringing back manufacturing back to the island. And now with this new grant, and they're gonna help rebuild their their infrastructure. They're gonna rebuild their, I forgot what it's called, but they're gonna electrical grid. There you go. Thank you. See, you're smarter than me. The electrical grid and everything else. And I'm like, okay, that's a beautiful thing. But of course, you know, the haters still gonna hate. But it's fine. Trump doesn't do it for self-praise. Trump does it because he knows it's the right thing to do. So thank God for him.
You know, and that's the silly part about this whole thing is that you hear liberals talking about, well, he's just doing it for votes. Let me ask you guys this question. Every president has done stuff for votes, but this president is doing stuff for the people, for the American people. And Puerto Rico is part of America. It's the American islands. So he's doing what he can to reignite the economy in Puerto Rico because that poor island has been devastated by hurricanes, by Democratic policies, and more hurricanes. And the president has actually stepped up for our brothers and sisters. Angel, your family in Puerto Rico. And we need you guys in Puerto Rico to understand that this man's doing what he can for you guys. And hey, guys, quick commercial break. We will be right back.
Has Joe Biden ever used a teleprompter during local interviews or to answer Q&A with supporters?
What will your administration do to help them give them that chance?
Move it up here. You know, there used to be a basic part.
Joe Biden possibly, reading his responses from a teleprompter.
Social distancing and wearing masks, which I never do when I walk outside of this house. I never failed to do it. Now, one day, on day one,
Has Joe Biden ever used a teleprompter during local interviews or to answer Q&A?
It's trying to distract the American people.
Can you say yes or no?
Brett?
Yes or no? You can't answer the question.
you know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
All right, Ronnie. Now, we're going to touch on what happened earlier this week. So there was dueling town halls. You had President Trump, and then you had Joe Biden. You know, I'm sure the media treated them fair and equal because they always do, don't they? It was listen, I'm looking at this, and it's like they're so obvious on what their agenda is. It's so obvious, Ronnie. Like, before I go into a rage and do my Puerto Rican talk, you have any comments before I just jump in here?
You know, I can tell you this much. You can tell that both during the President Trump town hall and the Joe Biden town hall, the mainstream media pre-selected the questions. They pre-selected the people that were going to ask the questions. And you can also tell that Joe Biden had the answers ahead of time. You know what I call him, Angel? I don't just call him Basement Biden. I call him Teleprompter Joe, because the minute that guy loses his train of thought, it's a stuttering nightmare because he doesn't know what to say. And then people say, oh, well, he stutters. No, man, the guy lost his teleprompter space and he doesn't know what to say next. So he's trying to figure out something. But, you know, it's obviously clear that the establishment, the mainstream media, is doing everything that they can to protect Joe Biden and try to harm President Trump politically. So, Angel, let's talk a little bit about the questions, man. Talk to me.
So we have a clip, and it's a condensed clip. And it's basically not more the questions, just the approach that they had towards Trump versus the approach they had towards Biden. Let's take a quick look at this montage of how they treated Donald Trump.
Mr. President, I voted for you in 2016. I'm conservative, pro-life, and diabetic. I've had to dodge people who don't care about social distancing and wearing face masks. I thought you were doing a good job with the pandemic response until about May 1st. Then you took your foot off the gas pedal. Why did you throw vulnerable people like me under the bus?
People got things wrong. I mean, you mentioned China at the top right there. All through January and February, you were downplaying, by your own admission, the severity of the crisis, that you didn't want to panic people.
Not downplaying.
But let me just finish the question first.
Not downplaying. I don't want to drive our nation into a panic. I'm a cheerleader for this nation. I'm the one that closed up our country. I closed it up long before any of the experts thought I should.
If you believe it's the president's responsibility to protect America, why would you downplay a pandemic that is known to disproportionately harm low-income families and minority communities?
Yeah. Well, I didn't downplay it. I actually, in many ways, I upplayed it in terms of action. It's still great leadership.
So do you think it's okay to be dishonest?
I'm not looking to be dishonest. I don't want people to panic, and we are going to be okay. We're going to be okay, and it is going away.
On healthcare, it comes from Alicia Block. She's from Philadelphia, an assistant professor who voted for Hillary Clinton last time.
Hi. Mr. President. I was born with a disease called sarcoidosis. And from the day I was born, I was considered uninsurable. That disease started in my skin, moved to my eyes, into my optic nerves, and when I went to graduate school, into my brain. When it hit my brain, I was automatically eligible for disability for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. I chose instead to get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, and become a professor.
Great.
It is great, except I still have similar health care problems. It costs me, with co-pays, I'm still paying almost $7,000 a year in addition to the co-pay, and should pre-existing conditions, which Obamacare brought to fruition, be removed?
No.
Please stop and let me finish my question, sir.
You got to scratch your head on that one, Angel. You have to scratch your head, because when you think about it, if you actually have an open mind and you're paying attention to everything, and you're not just focused on hating Trump or loving Biden, you have to realize as an adult, as a grown person, that they are trying to set Biden up. They are giving him the questions. He's already got the answers, and they're giving him questions that are kowtowing. They're like soft and delicate, I want to pat your face type of questions. And at Trump, they're just trying to punch him in the mouth, you know, and that's not the way it works. And that's why when the debates go on, Trump is going to light that man up. It's going to be a beautiful sight to see, if they even have the debates, you know. So they've talked about it, but I doubt they're going to have them. But Angel, I don't know what else to say on this, man. You tell me what your thoughts are, and let's talk about it.
Well, we just saw Trump's question. I just want us to hear how they treated Biden, just so we can see the contrast really quick. Can we play the Biden clips real quick?
Let me just jump in, though. She was asking about the Green New Deal. Do you back that, or do you think it's too much?
I really do view this campaign as a campaign between Scranton and Park Avenue. My dad came up here, worked here, lost his job like a lot of people did here. We are as good as anybody else. And guys like Trump, who inherited everything and squandered what they inherited, are the people that I've always had a problem with, not the people who are busting their neck. The president who stands out there when people are peacefully protesting in front of the White House, no violence whatsoever. He gets the military to go in, put tear gas, move people, physically move them out of the way so he can walk across to a Protestant church and hold a Bible upside down. I wonder if he ever opened it, upside down, and then go back to a bunker in the White House? What are we talking about here?
If you were president, could you see a scenario where you downplayed critical information so as not to cause panic?
Not at all. The idea that you're going to not tell people what you've been told. Anderson, I've been doing this a long time. I never, ever thought I would see such a thoroughly, totally irresponsible administration. You lost your freedom because you didn't act. The freedom to go to that ball game, the freedom of your kid to go to school, the freedom to see your mom or dad in the hospital, the freedom just to walk around your neighborhood because of failure to act. It's all about people showing up and voting. I think you're going to see a massive turnout.
They were so soft and cozy, those questions. Listen, you know what was funny? I saw the town hall, the Trump's town hall, right? And they said that these are undecided voters. Those questions sound like they were pretty damn decisive. All right, they knew who the hell they were voting for. Undecided voters. They're standing there blaming Trump for all the problems in the world. And then with Biden, it's like, Biden, how can you save all the problems in the world? Trump, bad. Biden, savior. That is the tone from both, Ronnie.
But you know what? I think the American people are smarter than this, Angel. And I think the American people know what's happening. You know, at least the moderate, the independents, the Republicans, you know, those that are to the center, even a little bit to the center left, they know what's going on. They see what's happening, and they can get a good grasp of reality. If you have to help somebody get elected by making their life easier, making their questions easier, giving them the answers, you're not who the American people needs to be president, period. End of discussion, no question about it. You know, and when you've got a president of the United States that from day one has gone up against the establishment and gone against the mainstream media, they're going to do everything that they can to try to destroy the man. And you know what? President Trump keeps taking those punches, and he punches right back, but he punches back 10 times harder. And that's why we elected him. That's why he's our president. And that is why he's going to win again in 2020.
You know what's funny? I just want to, I want to touch on a couple of the comments that Trump got, right? So usually in these town hall debates, it's been like this for eons. You ask a question, right, Ronnie? And then you sit down. And possibly there's a follow-up question. One gentleman, he was supposedly, I guess, allegedly a pastor. He stood there and he said something. He was talking about Trump. He said, "You used the phrase, 'Make America Great Again.' When was it great for African Americans?" Right? Fine. He asked his question because he said something to the fact that, you know, how tone deaf that sounds to us. Fine, whatever. So instead of sitting down, he ends up filibustering. He's up there talking to the president back and forth for like 5 minutes. I'm like, why is this man just continuing back and forth with the president? You're supposed to speak and then let go. But then this is ABC. They have no control. Actually, they do have control. They wanted this to happen.
Well, and speaking of ABC, George Stephanopoulos was actually the gentleman, as I'll call him, that actually put in the possible second impeachment in Speaker Pelosi's thoughts in their interview this morning or yesterday. And that should tell you more than you need to know. If you've got news anchors asking about a second impeachment, trying to push for a second impeachment, that tells you all you need to know about the mainstream media. Angel, let's take a look at that video real quick.
Let me press you, though, on what happens. You said you want people to get out there and vote, but even that's no guarantee that the White House and Senate Republicans won't try to push through a Supreme Court nomination in a lame duck session, even if Joe Biden wins on November 3rd, even if Democrats pick up seats in the House and maybe even the Senate. So what can you do then? Some have mentioned the possibility, if they try to push through a nominee in a lame duck session, that you and the House could move to impeach President Trump or Attorney General Barr as a way of stalling and preventing the Senate from acting on this nomination.
Well, we have our options. We have arrows in our quiver that I'm not about to discuss right now.
Stephanopoulos, the Clinton crime. He's part of the Clinton crime family, isn't he? This guy is such a terrible, can I say terrible human being? Is that wrong? I'm going to call him a terrible human being. I have other words to say, but it's a family-friendly show. So I'll be nice and just call him terrible. not the other words that float into my Puerto Rican head, you know, that I want to call him in Spanish, but I won't do it. I'll be very nice. But yeah, but this man, he's not a reporter. Like you always say, these guys are activists, Ronnie. They are activists for the Democrat Party. They are activists for socialism. And that's all the media is right now.
You know, George Stephanopoulos, if a lot of you guys don't know, he was actually an aide to President Clinton. So he is connected to the Democrat Party. He is connected to the Clinton machine, as I'll call him, the Clinton crime machine. You know, so I'm not saying that Stephanopoulos has committed crimes, but he's connected to the Clintons. And he is anti-Trump. I don't think I can mention one segment or one interview where George Stephanopoulos or even ABC gave the president a lot of credit for much anything, you know, especially with the peace deals. You know, they touched on it and moved on. But anytime somebody says something negative about the president, ABC, CNN, CBS, Washington Post, New York Times, they pound it and pound it and pound it into the American people. This is like Operation Mockingbird in 2020, you know? So people, we need to stop paying attention to the media. You need to do your own research. And you need to pay attention to what this president is doing. Instead of listening to the words of the media, look at the president's actions, look at his policies, and look what he's doing for the American people. The man actually had signed an executive order to extend unemployment benefits because Congress wouldn't negotiate. What does that tell you guys?
Congress is what we always say, communist. I just love that word. Sorry, I'm going to say it. You know what? Let's not call them Democrats anymore. Can we just call them communists? I hate using the communist word. I hate using the Democrat word. You know, it's just call them communists. Same difference. Same difference. Yeah. So listen, it's an uphill battle, but remember, the Democrats are on the fence right now. You might think that, you know, that they're in control with everything that's going on, but no. The reason they're lashing out is because they are on the fence, Ronnie. It's kind of like when you have an animal trapped in the corner and it has nothing else left to do but to lash out any which way. That's what's happening now. They're losing, and which is why right now they're lashing out and they're exposing their full communist ways. Yeah, abortion up to 9 months. Yeah, free Medicare, healthcare, free Medicaid, open the borders, everything. They're lashing out because they have nothing left. So we got to keep pushing, keep pounding.
You know, that takes me back a little bit. I remember when the president first got elected, the Democrats were trying to push for 16-year-olds to be able to vote. They have pushed for illegal immigrants to be able to vote. They're doing anything that they can to gain votes. They are starting race wars. They are causing divide and strife among the American people. The Democrats do not have the best interest of the American people. If they cared about peace and unity, they would try to work with the president. Whether they like him or not, they have to work for the American people, and that's something that they're not doing. And it's very telling that we continue to see this, and more people on the left continue to push exactly what the mainstream media tells you. And if you notice, and I'm going to get back on some talking points, anytime the media and the Democrats say something, fan the flames, fan the flames, fan the flames, every single Democrat that's in office says it. Every single mainstream media outlet says it, and every Democrat voter says it. And they call conservatives a cult. That's crazy, because at the end of the day, if you're repeating what everybody's telling you on a constant basis, you're talking to the wrong barrel, because I'm going to tell you now, you're part of the cult, not the conservative movement. You know, and on another thing, conservatives, Angel and I, people at Lexit, our members at Lexit, we continuously get attacked by white liberals telling us that the president is going to deport us, telling us that we are coconuts or Tío Tomás. You know what? If that's what it is, that's what it is, because the conservative movement is about the American people. The conservative movement is about me. It's about you. It's about my kids. It's about your kids. And it's about our neighbors. It's not about color conservatism, guys. It's about loving one another regardless of the color of our skin. It's about gun rights. It's about life. It's about protecting babies. It's about being scared of God, fearing God. That's conservatism. Angel, I'm going off on a rant, man.
No, I love it, man. You get it in there, man. I love it. So it's important, like you said, for this conservative movement to we got to keep pushing it. And just one suggestion that I have with to give to people. I know a lot that a lot of times we're online and we really debate. We debate with liberals and we fight with liberals online. I would say stop that just for a while, because
guilty.
Yeah. Listen, I'm talking to you, Rodney. No, because this is what happens. Sometimes, you might convert a liberal from time to time, right? But 95% of the time, 99%, no one's gonna go in there looking to get their minds changed. So instead of wasting your time and your energy fighting liberals that are not gonna change their time, focus your time and energy on you conservatives that just came into the fold. Let's teach them how to debate. Let's teach them what source to go to. Let's teach them about the Constitution, and we'll strengthen our numbers. Instead of focusing on the left and fighting with trolls, we're gonna get nowhere for most of the time. We built our army. We built our conservative base. So if you want to focus your energy, let's focus it on the new Republicans, the new conservatives that just came in.
And you know what, Angel, you're actually 100% right. Here's one thing to think about, though. The far left voters have already made up their mind. They're not going to vote for President Trump. We need to focus on independents. We need to focus on moderates, and we need to have discussions. And if we can have discussions, we'll open up more ears. We'll open up more eyes to what's been going on, and we will grow that base. But it is really about discussing, having a clear, open dialogue and debate with other people versus attacking other people on social media. And like I said, if you can focus on those people, those are who we need. Those are the people that have a good train of thought and can see through the drama and the dirt that's been going on. And as an American people, we need to be united people, and we need to come together. And in doing that, we have to reelect this president. We have to retain the Senate. We have to, and I'm telling you guys, we have to win the House of Representatives. We need Congress back. We need to retain it, the Senate. And at the end of the day, if we can do this, we can make America better. I'm sick and tired of Democrats calling Republicans enemy of the state. I'm sick and tired of Democrats calling Republicans Russian bots. I'm sick and tired of Democrats telling us what we need to do or how we need to think because we don't fit their ideological agenda. As an American, I serve this country so you can have your free thought, your free speech, regardless of what side of the political aisle that you're on. We need to do better. We need to be Americans, and we need to honor what this Constitution is about, and we need to stand by each other, brother and sister, period. Angel, it's so crazy how there is so much hate and divide, and they're trying to blame the president for it.
It's like what they always do. They blame the president and they blame the right for the things that they do. You know, they blame the president for Russia collusion when they were doing collusion. They blame the president for the Ukraine call when they were actually doing deals in Ukraine and in China. Like they are, you know, they blame the president for the coronavirus when they were saying, come on down to Chinatown. I don't know what voice that is. I don't know who said that, but they said it in that voice. I'm not a good impersonator. But, you know, everything that they do wrong, they'll blame it on the president who does it right. And unfortunately, you have the left that just eats it up. People hate the president so much that they'll believe anything. I am telling you right now, Beelzebub can come down and run on the Democrat ticket. Beelzebub is like, you know, the devil. He can run on the Democrat ticket like this. I like his horns. You know, they will vote for him because they hate Trump so much. So don't mind me. I'm just going on my weird tangent. But this is the left. They will, anything that opposes the president, they will support.
Absolutely. And, you know, that takes me to thinking about something here. Joe Biden was falling in the polls when they were having the primaries for the presidency or the Democratic nomination for president. He was falling he got shot down like an Iraqi jet. Kamala Harris got shot down like an Iraqi jet. But you know what? They figured Joe Biden can pull the moderates over, which is why Barack Obama elected him to be his vice president. But here's the deal. Joe Biden is old. Joe Biden is frail. They selected him so that way he can pick somebody that will be the vice president for the far left. So when that person takes over, and it will be within Biden's first term if he wins, that way they can push their far left radical agenda. They know that Kamala Harris is as progressive as they come. They know she is a swinging left fielder. And that's why they selected her to become his replacement, or as we call it, a vice president candidate. But guys, when you make your votes, I want you to take a look at something. I want you to look at Kamala Harris's record. I want you to take a look at what she's done in her past. And I want you to realize Kamala Harris cannot become the president of the United States. That is very detrimental to our country. It's detrimental to the future of our country. And we have to stop the Biden-Harris ticket today. Guys, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
You started this. We're gonna finish it.
These are good people. I've known Mr. Lucini for some time now.
You ever seen him exhibit extremist behaviors or attitudes?
What?
The man's Muslim, so you enter his house without a warrant. Islamophobia.
Come with me. He's running a terrorist nerve center or recruitment website. Or am I just an Islamophobe?
He won't talk to me anymore. He knows what I saw in that room.
And what does that tell you? He is the one that said, go to Cairo, talk about the faith. You're not suspicious? I'm asking you, don't go.
I will call you.
It's gone viral in the Middle East.
That you're preaching to Muslims. Well, I was invited.
Not by me, mate.
Who's there?
Dog! Can you hear me?
He's caused an international incident.
He was kidnapped. This is terrorism. working on it, right? The government.
Not a chance. The days of Entebbe are long over.
As far as the world's concerned, you're dead and buried.
I can't give up on it.
Is here your husband?
You're CIA. The two of you set him up.
You act as if nothing happened in Virginia. Try to get me arrested.
I came here to plead for his life.
It is clear you are an American spy.
I didn't come here to watch you die.
We're not afraid to die. That's why we're gonna win.
I'm not afraid either.
All right, guys. So final segment is going to be a short one, but a sweet one. You know how we are. We love the liberal meltdown. And the big liberal meltdown of the week, Kim Klacik was on The View. She went into that den of hackling hyenas and she shredded them. Oh my God. You know, I love it. She went in there. She was like a boss, like boss. And it was a great thing. And I love it when they go on The View and they embarrass them. And now that The View doesn't have an audience, really, there's no one there to go, to kind of like, to make it sound like they're winning. So now it's just facts versus hyenas, and the facts are winning.
You know, Kim Klacik is awesome. She is awesome. And she took counterpunch after counterpunch from the host at The View. And you know what? She went at him and she represented the Republican Party well. And she's going to win Baltimore because she's bringing a whole different ideology when it comes to marketing and pushing the conservative movement in Baltimore. There's no way she's going to lose. I'm going to put my house on it. Kim Klacik is elected in Baltimore. I love her. What about you, Angel?
You know what? This is the Trump phenomenon, guys. For years, Republicans have been weak, apologetic, and the Democrats have taken advantage of that. They just, walked all over them. And then we're like, yes, we kept bending over and say, yes, 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 and kept getting pushed to the back. And now we have a new breed of fighters. You have your Jim Jordan. You have Kim Klacik that's coming out. You have my man from Florida. I just slipped his name.
Matt Gaetz.
Matt Gaetz. You have real fighters coming out right now. And Kim Klacik is another one of those. And what are you gonna say? She's racist. She's a black woman. She fits that. She fits the that's supposed to be liberal group, but she's up there. And when she sat up there, and then Joy Behar tried to talk to her about the black vote and the black community. She turned around and said, "Is this Joy Behar the same one that walked around in blackface?" I said, "Good Lord, oh mercy." I passed out and fainted. That was good stuff. And then she got upset. She goes, Joy Behar had the cojones to say, well, the black community supports me. Really? Ronnie, so one of the highlights from that was when Kim Klacik sits up there with the hyenas, right? And then Joy Behar comes out and she starts mentioning something about the black community and this and that. Like she doesn't know because Kim Klacik is not black. I don't know how. But anyway, Kim Klacik goes, is this the same Joy Behar that wore blackface? Yep. And she lost it. She went crazy. The whole view was like, it was like a mic drop moment. And she goes, wait a second, the black community supports me. I'm like, I don't know what community she's talking about. The black community supports my blackface wearing. I'm putting that part in. She goes, the black community supports me. And then she goes, really, they do? And then the other black lady on The View comes out defending blackface Joy Behar versus the actual black woman that they brought on.
Come on, Kim. Excuse me, I have to say something to you. He told Bob Woodward that it was a very serious issue and it's airborne and that it was terrible. And then he went out and told the American people, don't wear masks, it's all going to go away. You have to put some blame on your president. I'm sorry. You're putting it on something extraneous here. Talk to the point, please.
Is this Joy speaking?
The guy
The
lied.
same Joy? The same
Yes.
Joy that
Yes.
paraded around in blackface not too long ago? Come on, Joy. I don't think you should be
That's
asking
not
these
true.
questions. I am
Excuse
an African American.
Excuse me. The black community had my back. They know that that was not
community has my
blackface. That
back.
was an homage. Oh,
The
please,
black
just
community
answer the
has my
question.
back
Black
as well.
community has your back? The black community has
Yes,
your back?
they do. Sonny,
The black community did
Sonny,
not
tell
vote
them.
for you.
Well,
the black
you know what?
community did not vote for you. What
It
planet
was during
are
a
you
special
living
election.
on?
Sonny, can I speak?
What
It was
planet
during-
are you living on?
It was during a special election while we were still.
It's an embarrassment.
It was a beautiful, beautiful thing, actually. And I did catch that part of it, too. And I tell you what, Joy Behar is a disgrace. Kim Klacik destroyed her. And for her to tell Kim Klacik that the black community supported her because she wore blackface is disgusting. It just gives you an idea of the way the left thinks, or should I say the far left and the Hollywood, the Hollywood elites think. But Kim Klacik did a hell of a job. I am very proud of her. And we got to try to get her on our show one of these nights, Angel.
I'll work my Puerto Rican charm. Bang, bang, bang.
No, I'm trying to get her on the show, not trying to push her away.
Oh.
All right. Hey guys, listen, we're about to end the night. We just wanted to let you guys know that we appreciate every single one of you guys that follow us, that watch our shows. Please click share, push our word, push our movement, push our show, and also join Lexit Strike Force. We need your help to connect to the Latino voters. You don't have to be a Latino to join Lexit Strike Force, but we do need your help. Latinos, whites, blacks, Native Americans, we're all one unit. We need your help. Angel, get us wrapped up tonight, my man.
Again, Ronnie, great show. You did great as always. I did mediocre. I'm glad. Great show. So, guys, God bless. This is great. The PR conservative. I'm out.
The Latino conservative. We out of here.